कर्मण्येवाधिकारस्ते मा फलेषु कदाचन मा कर्मफल हेतुर्भू मा ते स्वत्वकर्मणि.
Meaning, you have the right to work, but never to its fruits. Let not the fruits of action be your motive, nor let your attachment be the cause of inaction.
Good morning to our distinguished guests, respected directors, deputy directors, faculty members, and my dear student managers. A very warm welcome to another insightful edition of Eminent Guest Lecture Series.
Good morning to all. On this solemn occasion, we fondly remember our founder and chancellor, late Professor Dr. Colonel A. Balasubramanian Sir, lovingly called as Bala Sir. His vision towards education is exceptional. His three golden words, discipline, dedication, and determination, still holds relevance in our personal and professional journey.
I, Avirup Chatterjee from Ranchi, Jharkhand, Junior Student Manager at Balaji Institute of Management and Human Resource Development, specializing in marketing.
And I, Ritu Roy from Bhilai, Chhattisgarh, a Junior Student Manager at Balaji Institute of Management and Human Resource Development, specializing in marketing, will be the master of ceremony for the day. Today we are privileged to have distinguished speakers who have excelled professionally. To express our appreciation, I would like to call upon our Junior Student Manager, Dipshika and Ujjwal, to present a bouquet to welcome our guest, Mr. Rana. Thank you, Dipshika and Ujjwal. And I would like to call our Junior Student Manager, Anjali and Vivek, to present a bouquet to welcome another guest, Ms. Medha.
Thank you, Anjali and Vivek. I take this opportunity to share that Sri Balaji University Pune is exceptionally proud of its four management institutes, namely Balaji Institute of Management and Human Resource Development, Balaji Institute of Modern Management, Balaji Institute of Technology and Management, and Balaji Institute of International Business.
Sir, I delightfully present to you the rankings for Sri Balaji University comprising BIMHRD, BIMM, BITM, and BIIB. According to the Times B School Survey 2024, SBUP is positioning first among private universities in Maharashtra and Western India. It ranks 12th among the top 100 B schools. We hold a prestigious position of being the fourth private university in India.
Our university secured the 9th position among the top 100 B schools in India, excluding government B schools, and 12th position overall. In the terms of placement, SBUP has excelled, attaining the rank of top 13 for placement, including government institutes, and impressive 7th position among private B schools in all over India.
Avirup, the audience would be eagerly waiting to hear from our respected speaker now.
Fair enough, Ritu. But before we begin, I would like to call upon our junior student manager, Avni, to introduce our esteemed guest speaker, Mr. Rana and Ms. Medha.
Thank you, Aviru. Very good morning, respected sir, and everyone present over here. I, Avni Jain from Balaghat, Madhya Pradesh, Junior Student Manager at BIMHRD, would like to extend my heartfelt welcome to Mr. Neeraj Rana and Ms. Medha Bahukhandi. Mr. Rana holds a prestigious position as a lead consultant at Infosys for 12 years and has also worked with corporate giants like Software AG, Zensar Technologies, Tech Mahindra with an impressive career spanning over 19 years. Sir has accumulated extensive career in digital transformation and technology adoption with experience in business process analysis and consulting. Sir is also a part of leadership team for PRX, which includes process mining, modeling, and automation. He brings a profound understanding in consulting and delivering business transformation program, leveraging BPM technology for clients in banking, telecom, energy, manufacturing, and public sector. Neeraj sir has a splendid academic background with a bachelor's degree in BSc, specializing in chemistry from R.G. Shah Science College and a master's degree in computers from DDIT. Moreover, he is an ARIS certified process governance expert. I would also like to introduce our second guest, Ms. Medha Bahukhandi, who is a Senior Associate Lead Talent Acquisition Specialist at Infosys. She has also worked with Allegis Global Solutions, Viziki, Old Academy, Couch Fashion, and MedTour Easy. She obtained an honors degree in economics from Delhi University and a master's degree in business administration from Symbiosis Institute of Management Studies. Today, we are going to have an excellent opportunity to hear from our honorable speakers. Their extensive experience and abundant knowledge promises to provide us valuable insights and inspires us to strive for excellence in our journeys ahead. Please join me in extending a warm welcome to our esteemed speakers. The stage is all yours now, sir. Thank you.
Hello. Hi. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, everyone. Did you have a breakfast? Yeah. You look very tired. You sound tired. Okay. So we'll try to not, get you bored, and we'll have a quick session for you. So I'll take you through what Infosys has been doing for the past few years, and what we want to do ahead, and the opportunity that we have for all of you. All of you are from first year, right? And how many months have you been in this college for? Sorry? 1 month. All right. So you're very fresh, right? You've just done your graduation, or you have an experience, and you've just joined the college. And I'm sure that you have heard so many people come here before from different companies address you. But this opportunity that we have for you, it's specially designed for first year students. So please, register for it. I'll quickly take you through, what Infosys is and as a brand, right? So we have been in the business for more than 40 years, and we are a global company. I'm sure most of you have heard about Infosys. You know who the founders are, right? And so we have a presence in 57 countries as of today. And we have more than 3 lakh employees who are currently working with us, right? Of these 3 lakh people that are there in the system, 39%, I'm sorry, are women employees. So every year, every quarter, we strive towards making this number higher, right? We want more and more female employees in working at Infosys, and we have different programs as well set up for them, right? So we are a very diverse company, and we are very proud of the fact that we have 160 nationalities that are currently working with us, right? So this is just a glimpse of Infosys through the past years. So we started in 1981, and in 2004 is when we reached $1 million mark, right? And we have a beautiful and an excellent corporate learning center in Mysore. We call it GEC, and any trainings, most of the trainings that we have for freshers and for any dignitaries, it happens there. It's a beautiful campus, and it's one of the biggest, if not the biggest, it's one of the biggest corporate learning centers of any that any company has created in the world. Right. Post this session, you can just go on YouTube and we search about this Mysore campus, and you'll understand when I say it's beautiful and the way that it has been built up. Right. Now, Infosys also turned carbon neutral in the year 2020. All of our offices now are carbon neutral, right? And we are very proud. So anybody knows who the brand ambassadors are of Infosys? Any guesses? This was in news, last year. It was everywhere. Anyone who follows lawn tennis here? Sorry? Yeah. You can get up and, maybe shout because you don't have a mic. So. Yes. So one of our ambassadors is Rafael Nadal, and the second one is Iga Swiatek. So we just, in 2023 is when we signed our global ambassadors. And I have a short video from them for all of you. So I'll quickly play it right in a while. So our purpose is to amplify human potential and create the next best opportunity for people, for businesses, and for the community. Right.
Why? It's why that keeps us going. It inspires. It challenges. And here's the thing about why. It's what makes you, you. Maybe it's about making it big. Maybe it's creating a future that's big for all. A comeback story after 2 kids, perhaps? Or helping every kid rise to the future. Sometimes it's doing something great. Or just doing all the little things that add up to great. No matter the why, isn't it all about being all we can be? About trying to find our way forward? And that's why our why at Infosys is a bit like all of your whys. We wake up every day and head to Infosys to keep finding our why. To keep amplifying human potential and create the next opportunity for people, businesses, and communities.
The presentation isn't over yet, guys. Right? So we have a lot of videos that I'll be playing along. Now, this is our promise at Infosys that we will give you the platform to explore, to grow yourself, and once you join Infosys, you will be aligned to a mentor as well as a buddy. A buddy will be somebody who is your colleague, will be from the same team, and mentor can be from the same team as well as from a different team, but somebody senior to you, right? And the mentor will basically guide you on the different projects that you'll be aligned to, what all opportunities you have to look forward at Infosys. However, the first project that you'll be aligned to, you might not get what you're hoping for, because there is no way for us to judge, right? What skill sets or what are you excellent at. But once you're done with the first project, you can definitely reach out to your manager or to your mentor and let them know that this is the field or this is the project that I want to work for. This is the client that I want to get into, and it's a very short and a simple process that you'll have to go through. You'll have to show that you have the enthusiasm, you have the knowledge, and you have the right skill set that is required for you to start that project. Right, so we believe in moving forward together, and as a team, as a company, we ensure that all of us are together, moving ahead in the future, right? We also make sure that the projects that you get at Infosys, they are relevant, okay? They are not outdated projects. They make sense, they are relevant, and they will help you enrich and move ahead in your career. So we have a small video from both of our global ambassadors. I will quickly play.
Hello everyone, I am very excited to announce this partnership with Infosys. Over the years, I have experienced how Infosys helped the players to use technology on tour. I think Infosys helped to transform our sport and make it super easy for every player on the tour, creating easy access to all the data and analytics. At the same time, I know Infosys is creating a new technology via virtual reality to engage new fans, and is something that can be super important for our sport. At the same time, Infosys and I, we are very focused on do something good for the society. So I think Infosys is bringing digital skills to the society for these new generations, and we are working hard here in the academy with the new generations to try to help the kids to become, first of all, better human persons, but at the same time trying to help them to improve as much as possible their tennis skills. We care about people, so because of that, this new partnership is super exciting for me. I'm very proud of it, and I am sure we're going to do something beautiful together. Super excited about this new project, so I can't wait to start this partnership and see how far we can go in the future. See you soon.
Hi guys, it's Iga here. I'm super excited to announce that I'll be joining Infosys team. It's a company that, as you know, is already in tennis and is giving us a great feedback, stats and analysis. So I think for me it's a great step forward that I'll be using AI to improve my game and to make myself a better player. For sure it's going to be useful for me and my team. So yeah, I'm just happy that I can tell you guys about it, and I'm pretty sure it's going to be a great path forward and a great way to for me to also be a better player. So I'm really excited, and see you guys there.
So just for your reference, Infosys is a sponsor of French Open, which we all know as Roland Garros. We have a unit called STG unit, the Strategic Technology Group, and we hire engineers for that group, and they are the ones who basically work on the technology that is used throughout the French Open, right? So that is what Iga was mentioning when she spoke about the technology and how that has helped her review her matches and her strokes and whatever she missed, right? The details, the nitty-gritty that is there in the game, the Infosys team takes care of it. So you all will not be hired for the technical role, but you will work as consultants or consultants mostly when you join Infosys, and you will play as a bridge. You will be the bridge between a client and the tech team, right? Because most of you are budding managers, right? You're a future managers, and you have the skill sets, you have the presentation skills, and you have the ability to understand and break down the client problem, right? For us, when we hire engineers, they are really good at coding, they're really good at making the tech stuff work, but when it comes to interacting with clients, it's usually the MBA guys who do it, right? And when it comes to clients, most of you will be working with clients, in Infosys or in any other company that you join. And the thing that we have with clients is, on a daily basis, there is a lot of to and fro, right? You would have been assigned a task that, this is a project that you have to do. And the solution that you have provided for the problem asked, they might not be satisfied with it. You'll have to work on it maybe 10 times, 20 times. And they have a knack of coming back to us again and again, right, with the same problem. So you have to be very patient. The most important thing that we are looking for is, your concepts have to be very clear in whatever field that you have chosen or that you're going to choose, in your upcoming semesters, right? So be very clear with the basic concepts of your field, right? Because when you're working with clients and you're dealing with clients, you have to do the same process again and again. You have to provide them with different solutions for the same problem statement unless they are happy with it, right? And your assessment, your performance all gets determined basis how you have worked on your previous project. That is how you will get your promotions, and that is how you will grow in corporate. So yeah. We have a platform called as Lex. It's a learning platform created for all Infosys employees. So once you join Infosys, you will have access to this platform. There are multiple courses of various fields, different domains. So you can be an HR person or a marketing person, but you still have access to courses of digital marketing, of finance, of operations. Maybe some tech courses are also there, right? And all of this is free of cost. But you only get access to it once you join Infosys and you're a full-time employee, right? So this is basically a small step towards upskilling and reskilling the employees that are at Infosys. So it's a self-based, we have self-based courses on Lex. So you can choose any course, it's free of cost, you'll get a certificate, and there's a lot of learning that you can do sitting at home or after your work hours, for your own future, right, towards your own career growth. We have around 15,000 courses that are currently there on the system. These courses keep getting revised. So today there might be a course for HR, but tomorrow if you again log in, it might not be there because they're making some changes with the content, or maybe it's outdated, right? So they keep changing the courses and keep adding new courses, removing old courses, basics the market, whatever the market wants, right? And basis the skills that are there in the market. This is basically a snapshot of how, our industry snapshot and, where our clients are mostly, right? So we are currently serving 212 Fortune 500 companies. Most of them come from the financial services side, right? It's the banking and the insurance sector. Then we have energy, utility, resources and services sector, where we have a market of 12.9%. So 12.9% of our customers are from, this industry. And you can quickly go through it. This is the current snapshot that we have of Infosys. Right. So I already told you that we are a very diverse company with 161 nationalities working in Infosys. We have a huge base in Asian market as well as the European market. Slowly and steadily, we are expanding in Canada and in US as well, right? And we have different communities. We have different employee resources groups at Infosys. One group is called as IWIN. If you can see on the slide, IWIN is basically for women employees who are working at Infosys. We have a group called, just a second. Yeah, so these are the groups, I'm so sorry. We have a group called InfiVets. It's for, veterans, military veterans who want to, maybe pursue a career in corporate once they retire. Right, we have Ability. This is for this group is for people who have any disability, and it's basically to make the workplace much safer and a more inclusive environment, right? So these groups are created for the same purpose, right? For you to meet different employees from different backgrounds and different teams. On a day-to-day basis, you'll mostly interact with people who are in your team or the clients that you're working with, right? But these groups are also there to help you if you are facing any issues, right? Like we have an iPride group for LGBTQI plus employees and their allies, right? So yes, So Infosys as a company, if you have any seniors or anybody from your family who is working or who has worked with Infosys, the one thing they'll tell you is that the work-life balance at Infosys is very good, right? And we are very proud to say that we for us family matters. We understand that there is a cut-off time, right? We do not expect anybody to log in at 8 in the morning unless you have a client meeting and there are deliverables at 8 o'clock, then definitely you have to. But we do not have a login and a logout time. There are certain deliverables that you'll have for the day, and once you're done with that, you can log out. There's nobody's going to keep a check on when you log in and when you log out. So we have a very flexible work-life culture at Infosys. And we have been recognized as a global employer across 22 countries in the year 2023. So globally as well as in India, we have been considered the top employer in 2023. And in Times magazines also, we have been, we've been called as the top 3 global professional services firms, and we're the only company from India to be a part of this list. So these are few, accreditations that we have got, and in the past few years. So I'll quickly just take you through it. Even Great Place to Work, we have been certified as a Great Place to Work in the year 2023. And every year we make sure that these rankings stay there, and we get more and more acclaims to ourselves, right? So it's only building up from here. We're not going downwards. All right, so these are few opportunities that you will get once you work at Infosys. So most of them are technical, designations that are there on the system on the presentation here. So agile coach, you can be a UI UX designer. I know that you are MBA grads, but after a few years, if you want to pursue something more, right, something different, then these are the opportunities that you can look into. We have a digital commerce professional that works at Infosys. You can be a Scrum Master. You can be an IoT specialist as well, a data scientist. So it all depends on how you work on yourself, how you work on reskilling and upskilling yourself. And we all know how AI has played. What AI is doing in the past 2 years, especially, right? With ChatGPT in place, and more and more products coming up. If we do not upskill, and this is a study that was done, so if we don't upskill ourselves by 2030, then most of the employees, most of the workforce that is there in the world will be unemployed. So 50% of the workforce currently needs to upskill themselves by 2030. So it's a very big number, and it's a very scary number as well, seeing how technology changes overnight. Right. So please upskill yourself. Try to do as many courses as you can. Try to find AI courses related to your field. You don't have to code there, but you can just see how you can use AI in your work to make your work easier, right? To make your work smoother. Now, these are few benefits that we give to Infosys employees. So we have medical and life insurance policy that we give to employees, and you can also add your family members in it with an additional cost per member. So the health insurance is for 5 lakhs per annum, and the life cover is of 30 lakhs. I hope that none of you have to take, the life cover. And we have HAIL, right? It's an emotional well-being team that is built at Infosys, and we keep getting mails on different sessions that this team does in order to make sure that we are mentally as fit. Physically you can be very fit, but you have to be fit mentally as well in order to have a good life, a happy life. So these are few things that Infosys has started for its employees. Now, if anybody was sleeping, I know most of you are sleeping, but please wake up, because this is very important. It's specially designed for first-year students, right? So this is our second year that we've been doing this program with an addition of a life project. So most of your seniors, would have gone through this process. They can guide you more about this, post this session if you have any issues. But we have a program called Ingenious One. Right now, this is specially designed for you guys, for first year guys only. And we have a platform called InfiTQ. It's similar to Lex, but you do not have to be an employee in order to go through the courses. So InfiTQ is a platform where you can register today itself. It has multiple courses that we have designed for B school graduates, for E school graduates, right? And you can go through the different courses that are there. They are free of cost. So you can pick up any course that you want, and you can start exploring, right? And there is an assessment after every course. So in order to get a certification, you'll have to undergo an assessment. But for this program that we have designed for you, we will have specific course that we'll let you know in a month or two's time. The launch of this program will happen somewhere in the month of November. So that is when we will reach out to your TPOs and your TPO and let her know the course that we have for Balaji students. Okay, all of you can register on InfiTQ today itself, and So the course that we have for you, that we will have for you in future, go through that course. There is an assessment that you'll have to take, and once you're done with the assessment, you'll get a certificate. And basis your performance, whoever performs well in the assessment will get an opportunity to grab a live project at Infosys, right? So it will happen somewhere around November to Jan. Between that is the timeline that we are expecting this to wrap up. So the live project will start somewhere around December end. You will be working with a unit mentor. All of you will be divided in teams of 3, right? But all this is basis your performance. So in teams of 3 from the same college, you can choose to make teams with your friends or anybody who has cleared the assessment round. And then once you have got a mentor, you'll be working with the mentor for a month or 2 on a live project at Infosys. So it's a great opportunity because you're just in your first year and you'll already get a corporate experience, and you'll get an idea as to what you can expect after 2 years once you join corporate, right? And once you're done with the live project, the top 2 teams will grab we have amazing prizes for the top 2 teams, and the top students from the live projects, whoever has completed the project who has completed the project and delivered it on time with the solution that was needed for the project, they will get an opportunity and they will be eligible for a summer internship program with Infosys next year. So you will be only in your first year and you'll already know that after 6-7 months which company you're going to do your summer internship with, right? It's a great opportunity for all of you. Please register yourself, please take up the course, try your best to, even if you don't want to do the summer internship project, that's on you, but you'll definitely get an experience when you do the live project, right? And it's a great opportunity for you all here from different fields, and I'm hoping to see most of you, on Infosys campus one day, right? Now, these are the different roles that we have at Infosys. So these are few streams that we have from consulting, marketing, HR, and finance. I'm from the HR side, so I'll quickly take you through, what you can expect, next year when you, interview with Infosys, right? So we start at an associate lead, right? A 4B, that's a job level 4B. Then you, after 1 year, working with Infosys, basis your performance, you will be eligible to become a senior associate lead. Now you will be eligible, but there is no guarantee that you will become, right? It's only the eligibility part that is there after 1 year. So it all depends on your performance, how quickly you move to the next level, right? So from a 4B, you move to a 4A, right? And after 2 years, you will get an opportunity and you'll be eligible to become a lead, right? That is a job level 5B. So when we usually come to campus, right, we have 2 roles. For HR students especially, it's associate lead and senior associate lead. So basis, your experience and, your interview, the job fitment is done, right? And so the job levels move from 4 to 5, then 6, then 7. So this is how the hierarchy is, right? When you go to marketing, you'll join as either a marketing analyst or an associate marketing manager. So here in job level 4, we only have one band. We don't, in band 4, we only have one level. We don't have a 4B and a 4A, right, under marketing. But when you come to consulting, again, we have an associate consultant and a senior associate consultant, right? So again, we have got 2 levels under the same job band, right? So this is how the hierarchy looks, right? Nothing to worry about because it's, this year you are completely free. You don't have your interviews for your placements, right? It only starts in next year. But just to give you an idea, it's, what you can expect and what are the different roles that we have at Infosys. Now, this is very important. I know most of you have most of these skills, but if not, please start working on, especially your networking skills. Try to engage and interact with as many people, as you can from different companies, from industry, your batchmates, your professors, because this will help you a lot with the different opportunities that are there in the market for you, right? And you should be curious, you should be inquisitive, right? You are business managers, you should ask questions. So just after this session, we will have a short Q&A. I'm hoping most of you will have some questions for us here. Right. Then technical skills, definitely you have to be a master in whatever field you have chosen for yourself. So please work on upskilling and upskilling yourself, and take part in as many case study competitions as you can. Right. I'm not sure what all companies are currently doing it, but when I was in college, Deloitte used to do it. Right now, Infosys is doing it. It's not a case study competition, but it is a competition. Right. So participate as much as you can. Don't think about the failure, right? Unless you take a step ahead in the right, uh, towards the right decision. I mean, towards the right career, you will not know, right? If it will be, if you're going to fail, or if you'll succeed. But if you just keep thinking that, oh, this is very difficult, I'll not be able to do it. So you've already lost the battle before it has begun. Right. So please participate as much as you can. You're only in your first year and you've just been in the campus for a month, right? So you have 2 more years to work on yourself. This is how typically the recruitment process looks like. We will again have this session next year, but just for your understanding, we get our registration data from your TPO. We come with a lot of roles to we come with a lot of roles to your college for different fields, and basis that the data is given to us by the TPO, right? And then a date is decided on which there will be an online test. We used to have an online test. I'm not sure if we'll have it next year when you're there, for your placements. So once the online test is done, whoever gets shortlisted basis, the cutoff will go through a technical round of interview. Once you're done with your technical round of interview, on the same day or maybe the next day, you will have your HR round, where the discussion about compensation and all those things will happen. We'll tell you about the benefits, about the policies that we have at Infosys, right? And whoever clears the HR round and basis your acceptance, we will roll out the offer letters, right? And so this is the process. We used to have a group discussion earlier. We have stopped doing that process from quite some years now. So yes. So this is it from my side. Now I would request Mr. Neeraj from EIS unit to come here and address you with his experience and what experience he has had at Infosys and what you can expect if you become a part of this unit. Thank you so much.
Hello. Hi. I'm audible clearly to everyone. Hi, good morning, good afternoon, everyone. First of all, I'd like to thank the entire management at Balaji for offering this opportunity to interact with all the students, and a very warm welcome as well. Thank you so much. So I think she already introduced, sorry, I forgot your name. So that was really overwhelming to hear about myself. 20 years in the industry, etc., etc. So yeah. So I think Megha has already covered much about Infosys. I'm sure Infosys is a brand that most of the people know. Being here, I think it's an Indian MNC. A lot of history, culture, we talk about Infosys, and in general also, right? People are aware. Before that, I think I want this a bit more interactive as well, so I'll try to wake you up a bit more. I'll try to have some questions for you, so I expect people to also answer. So while we talk about EIS as a unit, what we do here, so of course Infosys is a big organization. There are multiple service lines that we have, each one specializes in their own ways of how we work for our customers and as an organization. So what I am part of this current organization, this unit that we are talking about. So with Infosys, almost I think 20 years is what I've been with the industry now, primarily into the BPM domain. And within Infosys, I think this is my 10th year now, which I'll be completing. So I'll talk about something, what we do as a unit, right? So EAIS stands for Enterprise Integration and Application Management. right? And within that, so there's a big umbrella of EIS. So we have SAP. I'm sure SAP is something that most of you know. What is SAP? Answers? What is it used for? What do you mean by ERP? Okay, and what is it used for? When you say enterprise resource planning? Anyone here? Anyone? Just attempt. It's okay. You may be wrong. You may not be 100% right. Give it an attempt. Mm-hmm. Partially right. Yes. Very good. Anything else? Why would a company invest in SAP? How would they leverage the tool or the application? So you said, right, processes, that's right. So when you talk about ERP, it's enterprise resource planning, right? So what is enterprise resource planning? An enterprise could have many set of processes, right, or different units, right? So there is a sales module, there is a finance module, right? There's a marketing module, right? There is an operation module, there is an invoicing module, right? So there are different modules. Like any organization, for example, may have different verticals, right, within the organization, right? So there is finance, there is support, there is legal, there is risk, right? There is marketing. So how do they all, come together? So how do they interact? So typically every organization is verticalized, right? But when you work to deliver something for your customers, it's not always vertical, right? You work across as a horizontal. So how do different departments, right, within an organization work, right? How do you manage that workflow, right? How does the order flow, let's say, from a sales to a back-end fulfillment team to your logistics, right, to your billing, till the time you have, realized the money, right? So that is what ERP is used for. Okay. So good example. Now I'll talk about DPA. So for next 15-20 minutes while I'm here, we'll hear a lot of the word process, right? So before even I dive into, what is our, definition of process from an EIS perspective, I would like to hear from some of you, what do you understand by a process? Just a process, right? What is a process? Do we have mic or something? Say that again, sorry, can't hear you.
Sir, what are the activities that are running day to day that's come under process?
Sure, partially right. Anyone else? Okay. Partially right. Simple definition, right? I mean, process is a very freely used term, right? I mean, you say, so when you enroll to the college, right, for Balaji, there is a process, right? You follow a process, online jana hai, form bharna hai, you have to put your credentials, appear for exams, etc., etc. So what is the process in general?
So reaching to final destination one by one.
Yeah, one by one, sorry. She's saying thing.
So reaching to final destination, which we are doing one by one.
Okay, sure. Someone upstairs? Yes. Perfect. Very good. Anyone on this side?
Sir, systematic way of doing anything.
Okay. Series of action. Good. Say that on the mic, sorry. Can't hear you. Sure.
Sir, action for any process on purpose.
Who's there? Sorry.
I'm here.
Oh, sorry. Okay. Sure. See, simple. Are we done? Anyone else? We done it. Okay. Yes, please. Perfect. So I think more or less, partially people answered it correctly. Process in very simple term, right? If you Google, it will tell you a set of activities that you do in order to achieve a specific target, right? Very simple. कुछ करना है, right? 1, 2, 3, 4 A, B, C, D, and then you reach, your end goal. Right? That's a process, right? I'll ask you a little more now. So that is a process. And what is a business process? Have you heard the term business process? BPM? Sorry, BPM. Okay. This is a bit more technical. You gave a very technical answer. I'm looking for a very simple definition of what a business process is. Process everyone knows. I think more or less, understand what a process is, set of activities. So what is a business? What changes when you add business to a process? Yes? Mm-hmm. Okay. Sure. Anyone else wants to attempt? This side? No one?
So collective idea, including starting to the finalizing business, that is business process. We can add capitalism and everything one by one in it.
Okay. Sure. Okay. So maybe I'll give the definition. So I'm sure if you Google it, you'll get different definitions. Some technical, some from a business perspective. So process, we understand set of activities. Business, when you add business to a process, which means the demand that is triggered by a customer. So business essentially means there is a customer who is demanding something, right? And in order to fulfill that, you follow certain steps, and that is how you offer that as a service to your internal or an external customer, right? So you have a business at the end of it, right? So any organization, right? So if it's corporate, it's an IT, for that matter, right, an educational institute like Balaji for itself, right? So every organization is divided into 3 set of processes. Okay. One is strategic, right, which is driven from the top, right? So you have your senior leadership who define, the goals and the vision of any organization, right? Short term, long term, 2 years, 5 years. What is the goal, right? Which direction, that organization is going to take, right? Irrespective of whichever industry you are in, correct? Then you have the second set of processes, which is your management processes, right? Sorry, management covered, which is your business processes. Business processes is the core of the industry that you are in. That is where you generate your revenue from, right? So that is your business process, right? And the third is your support process. Support is everything that does, right? For an organization like Infosys, if IT, administration, HR, finance, legal, what are these? These are not customer facing entities, right? These are not revenue generating for the organization. So these are more of support function. They facilitate the business processes, right? The management part of it, right? So that is how we typically divide an organization into 3 set of processes. And as I said, earlier, everything that we do as a unit as well, within Infosys, we look at from a process lens. So that is what, that's why I said you'll hear a lot of process, right, in the next 10-15 minutes. Okay, moving on, right? Digital process automation. So what does that sound like? What do you think? What is digital process automation? What is automation? Automation? Sorry? Automatically in the sense? Why? On its own. Okay. Sure. Anything else? Sorry? Simulation. Okay. Could be. Yes. Good definition. Right, so your attendance gets recorded. That is then linked to your salary processing, right, your finance, right? So that is how your salary is calculated based upon the number of days you worked or you were not working, whether it was a leave without pay, correct? So there is a process which is followed, right, for everything that we do, right, within an organization. Okay, so coming back to EIS and coming back to our unit DPA, what is our definition of process, right, and digital process automation, right? So you see here, so reacting quickly to market opportunities and consistently producing delightful customer experience, right? And I think in general, you would have heard a lot during the COVID times that digital adoption increased by 200%, right? What do we mean by that? Do we see any day-to-day changes in the way we interact? Let's say banking, for example, right? I think if you see 10 years back, if you want to withdraw cash, you go to ATM, right? If you want to pay someone, right, you have a checkbook, right? So 10 years back, and now with the digital adoption, I think if I talk about myself, I haven't gone, seen the branch, right? At least for last 4 or 5 years, right? Never been to the branch itself, right? So I think these are some, real life examples, right, where automation is touching, our day-to-day lives. Correct. So this is just a definition of it, right? And what we do as a unit, right, when we say DPA, correct? So those are at a very high level. This is a bit more technical. So in terms of how we look at digital process automation, right? So automation in general is everywhere, right? Digital adoption. So every organization and every service line within Infosys also, they'll talk about, automation, digitization, digital transformation. Correct. But what it means for us as a unit, right? What is the specialization area for us, right, where we work on, right? So that is BPM, correct? So digital process automation for us is divided into 3 areas, which is business process management, robotic automation, and AI-based capture and AIML, as you can say. So anyone can give me definition for any one of them. Have you heard, read something somewhere about it? What is BPM? I think I asked this earlier also, but yes, looking at this now, do you know what is case management or what is orchestration? Okay. Robotics, RPA. Have you heard RPA? Yes, no? I think he's sitting there. Sure. AIML. What is AI? We hear a lot, I'm sure, nowadays, right? What is AI? Just layman term. I'm not asking for expecting a technical, definition for it. And a very simple use case. Where do you see AI, integrated in our day-to-day lives, Rahul? I'm sorry? Yeah, whatever you think, whatever you know of AI, what is AI for you?
Sir, AI basically making a computer, basically making a computer, giving a brain to a computer without being explicitly programmed. Like
Okay.
earlier we have to code to run a program. Now we just give the input and output, and then they have to make a they have to make a program for us.
Okay. Sure. Any other definitions? See, I think after you finish your colleges, I think probably some of you would go to the IT sector. Mm-hmm. Okay. Mm-hmm. Okay, okay, sure. I think that's a good definition. Anyone else?
Hello.
Yes.
Ability of machine to learn patterns and predict.
Good.
Thank
Good one. This side is quite. I haven't heard anything from this side. On the top. Never heard of AI so far? You'll be in the corporate, right? I think by the end of the next year.
Sir, AI is input processes output. The moment you generate a command, it processes your command, then it gives the output as a result. What is being generated throughout the process. It is input processes output.
Sure, sure. Okay. See, the definition, artificial intelligence, right? That's the definition, right? So why do we call it artificial intelligence? So intelligent, I think humans are considered as the only intelligent being, right? Or the most intelligent being, right? So when it comes to intelligence, what we mean by is the decision-making ability, right? So everywhere, in every aspect of life, forget about corporate or forget about processes, right? So every critical, decision taken in any organization, right? It's corporate or, any sector, any industry, right? There's always people who take the decisions, right? And people who do, a lot of processing of the work, right? So AI is the capability wherein we try to reduce the dependency on people, right? For a lot of things, right? A simple example is nowadays you have banking applications, most of them, right? All the banks, you have a AI assistant, right? Take any bank, right? So what they do is, so earlier when AI was not there, right? A simple example, right? So if you have any query, you either go to the branch, right? Or else you call the customer care, right? So you call the customer care, you probably still, right? I had some issue I had to call the other day. I was on hold for 15 minutes, right? Before I could actually talk to anyone, right? So, to reduce the dependency, to have a quick around time, right, for your queries, for your issues, right? Chatbot, that is what we call a very technical term, right? Chatbot. So what is chatbot? Chatbot is nothing but AI. So what organizations do is based on the kind of queries that we typically receive, right? They have built a database of it, right? And they have segregated them into different categories, right? So when you log into a chat, this ask your, whatever is there, it'll ask you for a category, whether it's banking or it's credit card, right? So you have IVR also, right? Automated IVRs. So that is a very classic example, right? So that way, a lot of your, queries and concerns get answered quickly, right? Without you waiting, or talking to someone for it, right? So that's a very, I would say, basic example of digital, process automation or where AI is used, right? And there are many more, correct? So what we do as a unit, right? So all the services that we offer, right? So we divide them basically into these three areas. One is business process management, right? So there is a lot of tools and technologies, right, that are available in the market, right? And of course, Infosys being, the tier 1 partner with most of the vendors, right? So how we work is, we are SI partners, right, which is service integrators, right? So we have tier 1 partnership with most of the product companies, right? So whoever are the leaders in the market. So I'm not sure if you have heard tools like Pega, APN, right? So these are, some of the market leaders in their own space, correct? So we do work very closely with them, because what the product companies do, like SAPs and Oracles, right? They are more into, they are the product companies, right? So revenue stream for them is by selling the licenses and the products, right? And how we work collaboratively with them is because we are the SI partners for them, right? So wherever they sell the license, the implementation is done by organization like Infosys, right? So we are the SI partners, right? So there are a lot of tools and technology that sit behind each of these, right? RPA, I'm sure you would have heard, Blue Prism, Automation Anywhere, right? So these are, again, the leaders in their space, right? So we have, again, tier 1 partnership with all of them, right? AI based. So AI based are, some of the specific vendors which specialize in AI. However, now you see every vendor in this space is adopting AI, right? Which means the new features that come in, correct? With these tools and technologies, AI is getting, embedded in all their offerings, okay? And so are we as well, right? So we have to enable ourselves, right, as an organization to be able to deliver and leverage the product capabilities for our customers, right? Fluid DPA is the philosophy that we believe in, right? So if I talk about Fluid DPA, and this is in short what is everything we do as a unit, right? So all the tool technology that sit behind these service offerings that is what we do, right? So sense and analyze, right? So sense is, anyone have heard something called process mining? Is that, or data mining ever? Okay, sure. See, one thing before I explain this, today's economy, we call it as the data economy as well, right? So there's a lot of focus on data, right? Every vendor in the market, right, irrespective of the industry they are in, is trying to leverage that data and try to, get insights from it, right? That is what it is, right? So essentially and then, this digital, because of the digital footprints nowadays, when I say digital footprints, means every interaction that we have is more and more online now, right? So can you use your phone or your smart TV at home without a Wi-Fi? It's useless, right? If you don't have Wi-Fi, if you don't have mobile data, that's just a piece of junk for you, right? So everything is online nowadays. So what it means is every interaction that we have, right, for every individual, irrespective of whatever that application is, right, there is a digital footprint, right? Which means there is data for every customer. See, every time you download an application on say from Google, right, store, Play Store, it'll ask for permission for your location, right? It'll get some data about you, right? Your demographics, your age, your preference, etc., right? And that is very evident now, right? Everyone uses Amazon Myntra, right? So based upon, your previous orders, it will suggest you this is the color or this is the size, right? Based on your, so where is that intelligence coming from, right? It is all coming from data, correct? So that is what we do here under sense, which is process mining, which means every application has some digital footprints or digital logs, right? Now here we are talking about enterprise levels, right? We're talking about ERPs, Oracles, right? So they have millions and millions of data, logs, right, that are sitting in the system, right? So when you design a process, right, so today I decide that this is my order to cash. If some of you know what is order to cash, right? Order to cash, this is how I want my order to cash work in my organization, right? But when you actually implement, that is a designed process, and what actually happens in reality is very different from what you have defined, right? So how do you make sure it is being adhered to, right? How do you make sure, we talk about operational excellence, right? What is operational excellence, right? You improving your processes, right? Making them more efficient, making them more cost effective, right, for your organization. So what a tool within this space like Celonis is one of the market leaders in process mining. What it will do is it will read those data logs, what you have from your ERPs, right, your Salesforce, your Oracles, right, and it will tell you what exactly is the process, right, in terms of visualizations, in terms of your flows, in terms of your dashboards. It will show you, let's say if there are 100,000 orders that came in a week or a month, right, what is the process followed by them, right? Does every order follow the same process that you define? No, that is not the case. So that is how you get the analysis, right, the insights out of the data. That is where process mining will help, right? Once you have done that, right, so you will understand what are the bottlenecks, right, what are the pain areas, right, where the order is taking most of your time, right? Let's say invoice processing order, right? So that is where you do your analysis, and then you design your 2B processes, right? So when you design your 2B processes, is what is your future state, how you want to see that in the future, that is your future state processes, right? And once you have designed that, then you automate them, right? That is where we talk about the 3 pillars, right? BPM. So that is how you define your processes, right? You define the blueprint of how your processes should work, right, within your organization. And obviously, it's a continuous journey, right? It doesn't stop with one time, right? So once you have, because obviously for any business, there's always a change, right? The scenarios change, new products come in, right? New discounts are coming in, right? So how do you cope up with that? That is the reason we see that as a continuous process, okay? So you're continuously improving. Somebody talked, I think somebody mentioned about it, continuous process as well. So it is, how do you adapt continuously and make your processes better, okay? Any questions? Any comments? Okay. This is a bit more technical. BPM, so what does BPM includes? Case management, workflow, SLA, communications, process modeling, mobile integration. So this is all, those are the subsets of actual implementing a BPM, right? So these are the different components, how you implement typically a BPM, right? AI, so what is AI, right? See, there are different sections or different segments of what AI is, right? So decision management, right? Engagement, chatbots, we discussed, right? OCRs, conversational, right? Nowadays we talk about Gen AI, right? So prompt engineering, right? So everything that comes under AI, right? And low code, no code. So low code, no code is also, so BPM has evolved over the years, and now most of the vendors or most of the way the market is going is towards low code automation, right? And the reason of low code is, when I say low code, what do you understand by low code? What is low code? So nowadays a term that we use in the industry is LCNC. Anyone familiar with that? Low code, no code? Have you heard? Anyone? Yes?
Low code, no code means the amount of code we have to use for any project is lesser compared to another.
Correct.
Sometimes we don't have necessary to use that much code. I think it's the correct meaning. So.
Yes, yes. Correct. Correct. No, I think you are very right. You too. A good answer. So the entire industry is moving towards a low-code, no-code platform, right? So if you see, 15 years back, it was like COBOL and mainframes, right? So people used to write code on black screens. Some of you would have done engineering, right? C, C++, right? You start with if any else statement, and then probably you get lost in that, right? So the industry in general is moving away from that, right? So what we want to do from an industry perspective is that, we want to give that functionality of building an application to the business users themselves. That is what low code, no code means, right? So you don't want an out and out, Java developer or a C# developer, right, to come and sit and do the coding for you, right? So what these tools are offering nowadays is the capability, most of which is visual drag and drop, right? A very technical term, right? So there are components which are already built in the application. So you just drag and drop, link those and build your application, right? So why this adoption is essentially, to be more agile, right? To be more flexible, to be able to, build your applications, in a shorter time, right? So your go-to-market time is very less, with such capabilities that tool is offering. Okay, so that is low code, no code. Okay. I want to take a very simple example just to explain how we leverage these tools and technologies, right? So digital process automation for us, as I said, is BPM plus RPA plus AI. I want someone to come and explain this. What are we saying on this slide? It's very simple, very straightforward, right? On top, you have 3 technologies, BPM, RPA, and AI, correct? So let's say this is an invoice ordering process, right? So that lady sitting there is processing an invoice, okay? And then whatever she does, let's say this is a manual process, right? Input comes, she is doing that processing, and then, her work is done, right? She submitted it. Now we're leveraging this BPM, RP, and AI here. Anyone who can volunteer and explain this slide? Everything is on the slide, right? Go on. One volunteer? Maybe 2 volunteers? Perfect.
Sir, in olden days we are doing works with our hands, but now we can use RPA for that.
Sure.
And making decisions, or we use AI for making decisions, sir.
Okay. What are the... So read each of these boxes and tell me, what is it? So
Sorry?
you have arrows, right, going from, this boxes. What do you think, what does each of them, mean? So you see the red arrows coming, right?
Yes, sir.
From the left, then it's right, and then one going down.
Yes, sir. Sir, in AI we can do cognitive decisioning and chatbots, AI and ML. It's all in.
Okay.
We can use these to take the decision, and robotic process automation is used for doing work, sir.
Okay. And the layer below, BPM, you see this blue screen, right? This thing. Sorry, you can't see this, right? So this part of it, right, which are the BPM and the BRM, right? You see in the bottom, in the middle of this slide. What do you think that is? Okay, no, it's good. Thank you at least for the attempt. So, a very simple process, right? Just intentionally kept this slide just to explain where and how we use the technologies that I mentioned, right, as a unit, correct? So BPM is, we read on the previous slide, orchestration, right? decisioning, right? Business rules management, right? So let's say this lady is doing an invoice processing in a very manual way, right? Now you bring in the RPA, right? So what does RPA does? RPA is automation of a very repetitive task, right? Which is of very standard nature, right? That is what RPA does, right? Small task. So there are 10 invoices that come from 10 different customers, right? They might have different or same kind of template in which you receive the invoice, correct? So somebody has to set capture those details in one Excel before he or she can upload that in your ERP systems, right? SAP for example, or Oracle for that example, right? So this is a tedious process. Is there any value addition that is done by the person doing that task? No, it is just a copy paste task, right? You take these 5 fields from one invoice, capture it in this Excel. That is a typical use case for a RPA implementation, task automation, right? We say, although the definition is robotic process automation, what we essentially are doing is a task automation, right? So you have robots, right? So you have sensors, attended and unattended. So you will teach that robot once, right? This is the invoice, this is the format. You pick these 5 fields, copy and paste them into these columns or rows in an Excel, correct? That is a RPA task, okay? So that is where we'll implement a robot, right, which is RPA, right, to automate that task, correct? Second is the orchestration, which means when you are entering those invoice details for the customer, right, there are a lot of details that would go, correct, along with what you have received in the invoice, correct? So that is the orchestration layer, right? So rather than manually doing it, passing it on to email to your manager for approval, so on and so forth, you build an application where the entire logic of how that invoice flows through the entire process. When I say entire process, somebody submits it, data entry operator submits it, somebody has to approve it, somebody has to assess it, right? There's some checks and balances, right, before, let's say, it goes to your finance, right, for disbursement of the money, right? So that entire orchestration, right, the decisioning part of it, right, the business rules management part of it, that is built in the application itself, which is BPM, right? So there are different roles, right? So you will have a data entry access, right? So manager will have his own sort of access, right? The workflow will take it through different steps before it gets closed, right? And third is the cognitive part of it, right? So whatever decisions that has to be taken, right? So if those are standard rules, right? Let's say if my invoice is of 10,000, of value 10,000 rupees, right? Then it goes a certain path. There is no approval required. However, if it's for 150,000, then you need 2 levels of approvals, right? So all that decisioning that is built in the application, that is what we are talking about of AI, right? So that automates. So no human decisioning or intelligence is required to take that decision. You build that in the tool itself, right? So the moment you enter 50,000, it knows which way the process will flow, right? So that's a use case for your AI, okay? So I think enough of process. Maybe you guys are getting bored a little bit. So I think Megha already covered. I'll just quickly see what slides we have here. Yeah, I think just 2 more slides. Sorry. Okay, before I go to the next slide, so this is all about what we do as a unit, right? So it's more now about what is the role that you will play, right? If you decide to join Infosys as a in the consulting stream, right? Business analyst, is that something you have heard, or maybe you would have worked, may have some industry experience before joining your MBA? Do anyone has any industry experience in IT or in general? No one? Yes? Sure. So question, in general, so business analyst, is that something you would have heard? What do you think is a business analyst? Yes. Okay. Sure.
Business analysts work as a bridge between customer and the company.
Okay. Customer and the company. Okay.
Sir, nowadays data are generated at a huge amount. So bringing insight from the data, and that will help for the company to increase like that.
Okay. Sure. Business and analyst, right? I think it's not very technical or a IT term, right? Business and analyst is a very layman term, right? Analyst, what is analyst? Yes, go on.
Business analyst is a person who interprets the data and makes informed decisions.
Sure. So a very basic or a layman definition is, you said something, yeah, you want to say something?
Analyst is a person who analyze the data and provide solution over it.
Yes, much closer to what I was expecting. Sure. So business analyst, essentially, if I say in a very simple term, I think Megha also covered, is a bridge between business and IT. Okay. Right. So when we talk about, Megha was explaining the hierarchy of the organization, right? So when we talk about business consultants or, senior associate consultants, so the consulting, vertical of it, right? So that is what, we are looking for, right? So as a unit, again, as I said, Infosys is a big organization, right? So there are different verticals, service lines who specialize in different areas, right? So what we look for from a DPA, EIS perspective is business consultants, right? So business consultant, what is the role of a business consultant? At the core, at the basic, it is business analyst, right? So business analyst is a bridge between business and IT. So when I say a bridge between business and IT, what do you think he is going to do by being that bridge? What would be his typical, day-to-day tasks?
Do the data mining task, give solution to a problem, and meet with the other stakeholders in the company. For example, there's a problem in the back-end office, so that he might work in the back-end office and gives information to the tech team,
Okay.
so that the process can be smoothened.
Sure. Very, very close. Yes. Anyone else?
In a short term, we can say that he is the one who is going to analyze everything, and then what is the requirement of customer and the company, he'll translate in a simpler form, and then solution will be provided.
Correct. I think that's right. So business analyst, again, the reason I said, as a unit, we typically don't have engineers directly from the campus, although as laterals we have a lot of engineers, right? The reason is, as a business analyst, the core skills that we look for is your analysis, right? Your communication, your presentation skills, right? Because as a consultant, you are not expected to do development. You are not expected to sit and write, codes, right? Or do development, right? So what you are supposed to do is act as a bridge between your business and IT. So you will have a development team who are very techies, right? Who are core in their tools and their domain, right? And on the other side, you have your customers, right? So customer could be IT, customer could be business, right? Because when you interact with business, they will tell you their problems in a business language, right? He'll say, okay, my invoice is taking 20 days, I want to reduce the time by 5 days, right? That is my target for next year or so, right? So now, how do you translate that business problem into a technical solution, right? And explain it to the development team what has to be done, right, in order to achieve that target, right? So you'll write your business requirements. If you know agile, then you write your business stories or user stories, right? And you pass on that requirements to your development team. So that is typically what you do as a BA, very layman term, right? I'll just share one slide. So generally speaking, that is what a BA does, right? So what is the difference between a BA, a generic BA, right? And in our context, we call ourselves as consultant. Anyone can read through and try and explain what is the difference to me. Anyone? See, communication is the basic, I think, necessity, and that is the basic expectation, right? When we think of, B school, right? I think communication and presentation, right? I think that's the core skills that we look for, right? When we talk about, MBA grads, right? So I think communication. Yeah, go on.
Sir, in general speaking, you have to basically solve the problem, but in our context, you have to solve through technology. You have to work on technology, how technology will help our problem.
Okay. I think that's perfect. That's the main difference, right? So when we talk about a generic BA, right? So BA, I already explained what is the role of the BA, right? How it will differentiate when you work with us as a unit is, obviously when you get, if you decide to join Infosys, what happens is initially you'll go through a 2 months, intensive tools and the products that we work on training, right? So you bring that, technology flavor to your analysis skills, right? So when you are giving a solution, you are not giving a generic solution, right? You're giving a solution based on the technology, right, that the customer is using. So that is the difference between your, business analyst and a consultant, right? Sure. This is very important. I think the last slide that I'll finish off with. So hierarchy, Megha already explained. That is the job roles, how you grow in the ladder, yes, within the organization. But this is what we call ourselves as, right? So we call ourselves as T-shaped consultants. That is what we look for, right? When you join the organization, right? So when I say core, which is at the center, right? So you see business analysis, agile, function, process, tech, product. This is the core skills that each one of us within the unit has, irrespective of the job level, right? So this is how, these are all the skills that are essential, right, for a consultant, right? So you start off your career, with this core expertise, and that is how you build your expertise, right? And as you grow, right, you expand, right, as a T, right? So when you see there are different areas. So once you join us, you'll probably work as a business analyst. Those are the core skills that you'll possess. But as you expand and grow within the organization, right? So these are the different areas that you can diversify into, right? So from core, you can either go towards the leadership team, towards the partner allianceman, there is solution. So this is everything we do, right, as a unit. So it is not just the project works, right? Apart from project, what is that we do, right? Partnership with our vendors, right? Analysts, right? Similarly, so you go into this direction or you expand within this direction, right? So you can be, a solution consultant, you can be a business leader, or you can expertise in one of these areas, which is business consulting and thought leadership, right? But this is the core that we have. We touch upon all these areas as I said, as a consultant within the unit, and then you can specialize in each of these areas as you go on, right? And you grow in your experience within the organization, within the unit, and then you can become an expert in each of these areas, right? Depending upon where your interest is. Okay. So I think this is the final slide from my end. Any questions? Yes.
Now the floor is open for questions.
Yeah.
Good morning, sir. Good morning, sir. I am Shikhar Jain, student manager, junior student manager at BIIB, Balaji Institute of International Business. My question to you is, what is the most important skill which you see in a candidate who is applying in the Infosys? Like in the engineer background, you see what coding and what you see in us like ambiguous.
Sure. I think good question, and that is what we evaluate when we go to the campus, right at the end of your second year. I think we don't expect folks to come with technology experience as such, right? The basic, as I said, business analyst. What a business analyst does is communication, presentation, and last and very important thing is a good attitude for learning. That is all we look for. Yeah.
Sir?
Yeah.
Good afternoon, sir.
Sure.
My name is Samad Habib. I am a student manager at BIMM, Business Analysis and Digital Marketing. As aspiring business analyst, you mentioned the skills of having analysis, communication, and presentation as core skills for an analyst. My question to you is, what skill gaps have you noticed in the industry in terms of current graduates and graduates from 10, 15 years ago? So what is the skill gap between those two?
Sure. Good question. First thing is, I think probably if I look at myself, right, when we started, our corporate journey, there's a problem which was, scarcity of information, right? So if my manager would ask you, go and, read about this, and, how you go about it, whom do you ask for it, right? So that is, and I think the problem with the current times is, I think the abundance of information, right? So there's a lot of information, right? So you can Google anything and you'll get 10 different results, right, for every search that you do. So the question is, what is the right? The authenticity of the information that you consume, I think that is what I think has to be very decisive, right? So what do you decide to take that this is the right information? So the source of the information, I think that has over the years, I think changed a lot. And I still see, recently I was working with two of the members from Wellinger who were part of the internship program with me. So I gave the same feedback to them also. And I think in general also, although there's a lot of technology related now courses also being, part of the curriculum, right? Where I think personally is more hands-on, right? So some real use cases. I think I was talking to someone, during that interview as well earlier in the day, that, maybe a good way is to give you, because, those students who came from Wellinger, they asked me that, we want some real project time, exposure and experience, right? So if I ask about something AI, you'll probably give me a definition of AI. But if I want to see how AI works, right, I think there is still a bit of gap there, right? So my, maybe recommendation from my personally is, from a curriculum perspective is that bring in more live examples, right? Maybe some programs where you have more collaboration with the companies, right? So that during your curriculum itself, you get exposure to the real-time projects, right? And that is, I think, I would say. I hope that answers it. Sure.
Hello, sir. I am student manager Rebecca Anthony from BITM. So, what is your take on robotics? Would it be increasing the manpower, or would it reduce manpower and focus more on automation? And sir, how do us humans walk with technology
Correct.
hand in hand, or are we still lagging behind?
See, not lagging behind, I would say, because eventually, I mean, humans have built it, right? I mean, it has not come from the outer space. So AI is built, large language models that we talk about is built by humans only, right? So I think Megha also explained, right, how important is AI in the curriculum, right? Even when you are working, right? Because most of the jobs, will be taken up by AI. So that doesn't mean that the workforce that we have currently is going to be, vanished, right? They will be losing jobs. It is more about adopting, because the technology changes. I think couple of years back, if I say from a strategic point of view also, Salil would say it's a digital first organization, right? 2-3 years back it was cloud first. Now if you have heard to the recent town hall, right? Sorry, now we are calling ourselves as AI first organization, right? And you see our Infosys as an organization, and for that matter any organization, right? IT, if I especially talk about, it's not that we have degrown, right, with adoption of technology, right? So if you see the current numbers, 3,500, right? That's where we currently stand as an organization, right? So we are growing. It's just that the nature of the work that we do has changed, right? New technologies come in, so you have to adopt, and adapt to that, new tools and technologies, so that you can coexist, right, with AI. So I think it's a learning curve for all of us. So I think there are a lot of initiatives across the industry, right, where people are now getting trained on AI, how to work with AI, how to use that, because that is something which is here to stay, right, and it will touch all our lives, right? Not just as employees, but in general as a human beings also, right? Sure, thank you.
Good
This
afternoon.
would be the last question.
Yeah, sure, works. Good afternoon, sir. My name is Gaurav Dwivedi from BMM Marketing 1.
Sure.
So thank you so much for your great presentation. So this question is specifically for ma'am, as ma'am is from talent acquisition. So ma'am, my question is that why organizations delay onboarding of employees and in worst cases revoke of offer letters, and how can graduates be more prepared for such uncertainties, and what organization like Infosys is doing to avoid such circumstances?
All right. So when it comes to Infosys, not with MBA grads, we have never revoked any offers when it comes to Infosys specifically, be it MBA graduates or engineering graduates or design hires or any campus offer that we made. It was not revoked. However, we had pushed the date of joinings because of the business requirement. Yeah, your onboarding happens in batches and it's randomly. It's as per the projects that we get for, and depending on the skill sets that we require to for the client's project, right? So revoking has never happened. However, delays do happen because if we do not have the budget and the capacity to onboard you all, then we will have to push your date of joining, right? We cannot keep you on bench, because even if you join, you'll be not aligned to a project, and that would be worse. That you'll be in the system, but you'll not be working, and you'll not be delivering. So it will impact your performance as well. You'll have nothing to show because there won't be any projects, right, assigned to you. So delays do happen depending on the market situation, but when it comes to Infosys, we are very proud that we do not revoke offers. Definitely delays have happened in past, but it was all because of the market situation. So what we've started doing now is couple of years back we used to hire in bulk. That has stopped entirely, and especially from B schools, if you see the past records past year, the numbers were comparatively less as compared to your super senior batch, right? So as we're moving forward, through the data that we have and through our through the data that we have for the future, the numbers are given to us, the requirements come to us, and basis that the hiring is done. You don't have to worry about your offer letters, right? All of you will be onboarded. That is a commitment that Infosys gives to any candidate who has been selected. We have just started rolling out few offers that were delayed for the past 1 year, but we are done with that batch as well, and none of the offers were revoked. Delay did happen. It was a 1 year long period that engineering grads had to wait for, but now we've started onboarding them and they are in Mysore for their training. So yes. Have I answered your question? Yeah.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, sir.
Got it, ma'am. Thank you.
For such insightful session. Now, I would like to call upon stage our junior student manager, Ms. Anjali and Ujjwal, to present a token of gratitude to Mr. Rana sir and Ms. Meda.
May I now call upon stage our junior student manager Yash to deliver a vote of thanks.
Thank you, Ritu. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. On this remarkable occasion, I, Yash Panchori, a junior student manager at BIMHRD, rise to deliver a heartfelt vote of thanks to our esteemed corporate leaders, Mr. Neeraj Rana and Ms. Meda Bhukhandi. Their presence has graced us with profound insights and inspiration. Today, we have had the privilege of learning from the very best in the business. Then their insightful words and thought-provoking discussion have grateful enriched our knowledge and inspired us to strive for excellence in our field. Now, I would like to encapsulate 3 important learnings from this insightful session. Ma'am has highlighted philosophy and instructional details about Infosys. She also pointed out courses for us and other opportunities we can avail as a first-year student managers. Sir highlighted digital process automation and its capabilities. Thank you for exemplifying ethical leadership and inspiring us to uphold the highest standards of integrity. Their expertise in the field of professionalism and the way they have articulated their journey has truly inspired us all. We are grateful for the valuable knowledge and perspective you have shared with us. Thank you.
Thank you, Yash. With this note, I conclude the 22nd round.
Sure. No, I think we talk a lot about EIS, what we do, process, a lot of process. But I think in general, I would say, I think somebody asked about, offer being, given, delayed, happening. But I think Infosys as an organization, I would say, is known for its corporate governance, right? When I say corporate governance, that includes how we operate as an organization, right? How we interact with our customers. We talk about data privacy, data security, right? We talk about internal processes, right? So if you have someone in Infosys working, or if you know someone in your family, right? We are a very process-driven organization, right? So everything is documented, from your leaves to your joining to your reimbursement to your exit, right? Everything, right? And that is revised on a periodic basis, right? And I think a lot of this comes, I think I was missing a slide, Mega, which was Sea Life, right? I think probably we missed that. The Sea Life slide, right? So Sea Life is something that we talk about, right? So every Infosian, who have been associated with the organization for some time now, we really value the Infosys culture, right? So what is Infosys culture is sea life, as we call it, right? So it's client. So there are a lot of definitions. I see I could not have the slide here on, but what it talks about is putting your customers first, right? Leading by examples. Be empathetic, to your juniors or your team members. So this is the culture when you come to Infosys. I'm sure tomorrow when you sit for your campus, obviously the first thing you would look at is what is the package, right? कौन कितना package दे रहा है ना? Right? So what is the CTC that company is offering, right? But apart from the CTC part of it, right, the culture of the organization, right? Once you join the organization, right, it's not just about what you get at the end of the day in your bank account, right? What are the learning opportunities? See, you are just starting your career now, so the two important things from my personal point of view is learning and growth, right? And IT is a very knowledge-centric organization, right? Industry, right? So the more knowledge you have, right, you can be anywhere you want, right? Maybe just Infosys today, some other organization, right? Wherever you want to be, right? So I think as an organization, that is where you will see the difference, right? When you join an Infosys, an organization like Infosys. And lastly, I think the facility, the infrastructure, I think that is something which you will never find anywhere in the world. I can very confidently say that, right? So if you are into a lot of other things, right, there are a lot of hobby clubs like Toastmasters, right, your drama, singing, dance, right, those who are into sports, you'll never have any facility like this anywhere in the world, right? The kind of infrastructure that it provides. So it overall helps you as an professional, not just in terms of your work, for your overall well-being as well, right? So those are few things I thought just want to highlight from my experience being with Infosys for almost 10 years now, right? So keep those also in mind when you take a decision after the towards the end of your completion of your course to decide on the organization to join, right? Keep that in mind. Okay, that's all. Thank you so much for your time. Appreciate it.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, so I have one goodie left and I have one question for all of you. So whoever answers this first, you'll have to stand up and just shout the answer. Okay, we'll get this t-shirt. It's a medium size, so I'm not sure if it will fit most of you, but still. Okay, so quickly tell me, when was Infosys founded? Okay. Okay, I have one more question. Right. Okay, so relax. I have only one shirt and I don't think it can fit all of you. Okay. One more question, right? One person at a time. Okay, so we have an employee resource group for women. What is it called? Yeah. Yes, the guy in the yellow shirt. This is yours. Thank you.
This was the only time I saw a voice coming from this side.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am. Now I conclude the 22nd round of Eminent Guest Lecture series. Thank you for being a part of our incredible session.